600 milers sometimes falls right into your lap unexpectedly.
Jeff Burton is one of those fellows that you may not see at the front until late in the race. He's been a top 10 car all day for Richard Childress, and he's won the race twice before. Krista?
Yes, he has 3 wins here, 2 in the Coca-Cola 600. And yeah, he's one of the guys who knows all about the opportunity comes later in the night. We talked at the start of the show, patience. He is so good at stretching things out and knowing when to get his car right. And it is right now. He's been tight, then loose. He was crazy tight a few runs ago. Right now, loose entry and exit, just a little bit tight in the middle. But as we mentioned, he did not race that all-star race, so he does not have nighttime laps, especially with this new spoiler.
Well, all 3 of the Childress cars are in the top 10. Kevin Harvick, the point standing leader in the Sprint Cup Series, right now is the 9th place car. He is 8 seconds off the lead after starting 23rd.
Harvick's happy about running 9th. He's in mourning over Chris Myers going away.
Yeah, right. During last weekend's All-Star festivities here in Charlotte, Toyota unveiled the winning of 77,000 entries in their Sponsifier contest. Praying for Carson was created by Fane App of Danbury, Texas, inspired by her grandson Carson.
Yeah, they came over to my shop last week. What a sweet family. They're from Texas. Carson, he has a rare lung disease. He's only 1 year old, and they really don't know exactly how to treat it because he's one of the few people that little guys that's ever had it. So she made that car for him, and what an awesome job she did, and what a great honor to Carson.
Now, Toyota donated $5,000 to Carson's family for medical expenses, and Michael Waltrip will try and qualify the Praying for Carson graphic scheme this June out at Sonoma on the road course. You saw the Toyota top performers, and earlier you saw Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch at the front of the pack. But after Johnson's spin and Kyle's dust up on pit road, they are back at 24th and 25th position.
And McMurray must have gotten the word to Chips in the house, because he just moved up. Got to get going, got to get going.
5th place for Jamie Mack.
And you know, back to Kyle Busch, we know what the problem is with his race car, and Dave Rogers and that 18 crew, they need some caution laps to rectify the problem. You have a front end setting where you have the distance between the front of the front tires a little more than the distance between the rear of the front tires. It's called toe out. It gives the car stability getting in the corner. It's knocked way out. They need some cautions to be able to adjust that on pit road.
We're just past halfway in stock car racing's longest night. Kurt Busch's Dodge leading Clint Boyer's Chevrolet, David Ruderman's Toyota, and Greg Biffle's Ford, the front 4.
The Coca-Cola 600 on Fox is sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible. By new Pennzoil Ultra with hyper-cleansing technology. And by Lipitor. Time for an AT&T race break on this Memorial Day weekend. Kurt Busch trying to become the 7th driver to win the 600 after winning the All-Star race. He is your current leader, just ahead of Clint Boyer. A quick recap. We've had 9 different leaders and 15 lead changes, opening ceremonies on this Memorial Day weekend, and the Army car on the pole, Ryan Newman, who led only 11 laps. Juan Pablo Montoya running for Ganassi with his problem on the slick track, and then Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Hammond, some problems here.
Yeah, his car got loose and got real hard to control coming up off turn 4, slaps the wall, goes back down, runs the 11 car off in the grass, doing damage to Denny Hamlin. But then all of a sudden things really broke loose as 18 gets into the 12 with Keselowski coming off of pit road. But I mean, it was a lot of mayhem all the way around the racetrack at that point in time.
Kyle Busch caught for speeding exiting a pit road. Kyle Busch, as we check the different 300-mile markers here, it's been a Busch Brothers Bash Fest so far. Kurt Busch leading at the 100th, and then at 200th mile mark was Kyle Busch, and then Kurt back at the 300th mile. And overall, Kyle Busch has led 36 laps, and so has Jimmy Johnson.
Well, Chris, right now, early on, watching Kurt Busch, he's doing exactly what I thought he'd do. He came back over with a different race car than what he'd won the All-Star race, but they learned from that setup. And tonight looks like, you know, They have figured this bad boy out. His brother, on the other hand, is 24th right now, and he's in jeopardy of going down a lap because he can't keep up with the times that his brother's putting down right now.
And the long green flag runs.
That's going to save his brother as he goes around the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Debris in turn 2 brings out the 4th caution of this race.
Well, when you take a look right here, 23rd, 24th, and 25th, you got Earnhardt, Busch, and Johnson. They were all saved by this caution flag.
Some of the big names watching. By the way, if you want to text on who you think should win the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award, you can do that and measure it against Jeff's vote. The AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year delivered by AT&T. Text it to 2258. The nation's fastest 3G network, and Denny Hamlin gets the free pass.
Gets a free pass. I mean, this is a big caution flag for about 4 drivers.
Let's rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's car was not handling at all. He's lost the left side of that lower valence, and nowhere there to put tape or put any bare bond to. So Hamlin had slipped 1 lap down. Getting the free pass will be a big break there.
And we were within 10 laps of what would be green flag stops when that caution came out, Darrell.
Yeah, these guys got a lot of work to do on some of these race cars. They got to line up the front ends and the back ends and everything else.
So the pits will be open this time. And they're going to come first to Dick Berggren. And Dick, we were following up on the Gibbs cars. You were saying during that last caution that Logano thought he was having a problem.
Well, he definitely was. He had a big chunk of rubber in the grill area. They have fixed that. That should have made his car a whole lot better. But right now, I'm watching for the 00 to come into the pits as well. As you look at Logano behind the wheel, they're going to try to tighten the 00 up on this pit stop. Steve.
Dick, 4 tires this time for Clint Boyer. They took 2 last time. Air pressure adjustment as well. Krista.
Kurt Busch has been just a tick loose. The only thing they haven't tried to tighten it up wedge, so that's what they'll do this time. Matt?
Impressive run by Paul Menard in 98. They've already completed the wedge adjustment. His car was free on this past run. Left side tires on, and he's away.
One thing I saw, that 16 crew, remember, he'd been overheating Greg Biffle. They really made sure that grill was clean on that 16 car. Looks like he's going to come off pit road in 3rd and gain a spot.
Clint Boyer leads the parade off pit road, and Jimmy Johnson will get to make some lengthy and needed repairs on his car as we're under caution for the 4th time. Getting ready for the restart. Here's tonight's Built Ford Tough Track Facts. This is the 51st 600-mile race at Charlotte, the first one in 1960. Elliott Sadler in a Ford set the track record in October 2005 in a Ford. 19 different drivers have won a race in what's now the Sprint Cup Series at Charlotte in a Ford. They were all built Ford Tough. During the pit stop, adjusting the toe out on Kyle Busch's number 18 and making some cosmetic repairs to the right front and trying to fix that lower valence on the left front of Denny Hamlin's car.
And remember, that was 2 cars that in the first part of this race were well up in the top 5. In fact, Kyle Busch, like Chris Myers pointed out, he led at the 200-mile mark.
That's a pan they're working on up under the nose of that 11 car. They put a pan underneath there for aerodynamic purposes. I believe that's what was hitting the ground.
Denny Hamlin was the free pass car. 26 cars on the lead lap. As we get set to go back to green, there were in addition 7 cars that took the wave around. Green flag to begin lap 218.
And let me just explain a pan. I'm not talking about a frying pan or anything. It's a piece of aluminum that they use for ducking under the car.
Boy, Kurt Busch in that 2 car got
Awesome work, buddy.
great run on the bottom.
And Clint Boyer is right with him, trying to join Cale Yarborough and Kyle Busch as birthday winners in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Those 2 cars jump out ahead.
That's what I'm talking about. New leader, the 2.
They've been listening to Chad.
In the 48 car.
I think that 2 car is trying to tell Roger that, you know, Roger, you may not have had a great day at Indy, but we're going to cover for you here at Charlotte.
Rudeman and McMurray 3rd and 4th, then Biffle, Menard side by side.
Yeah, Paul Menard, he wants his 5th position away from Greg Biffle in that 16 car. Menard in the 98. And there's our points leader, Kevin Harvick, in the 29.
How about a salute to the troops? Memorial Day. Crank it up.